Hello everyone, I'm Lacey, this is Lieutenant Dan, and you are watching Reptiles. So for today's video, I really wanted to have John Cena out, but she was in her hide and I didn't want to bug her because when she's in her hide, that means she wants to be left alone. If she's out of her little hide, that's when she typically comes out and hangs out. Because I'm trying to do choice-based handling with her. So if she does not want to come out, then she does not want to come out, and that is fine. But today, we are talking about the five of the largest snake species in the world. And come on, I want to have a big snake out to talk about big snakes, but that is okay. We will respect her need for nappies. So I think here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna start from generally the least small and go all the way up to the biggest. I think that's a good way to go. The first snake we're talking about today is, drum roll, is the scrub python. Also called the amethystine python, with the Latin name Similia Similia amethystina. Also, because they're also called the amethyst python, because they have very iridescent, pretty scales like a gem, like an amethyst. And scrub pythons are found in Australia, Indonesia, New Guinea, in that region of the world. But scrub pythons can go, the internet said, like between 10 and 12 feet. But the largest on record was like 20 something feet or something like that. And they can get between like 55 and again, that huge boy was like over 100 pounds. But on average, like 10 to 12 feet and about 55 pounds and up is like the average for scrub pythons. They'll eat small mammals like rodents and bats, possums, small wallabies, and they're constrictors. They're non-venomous, but they're pretty cool. They're semi-arboreal, so you can find them in the trees, you can find them on the ground, and they're pretty neat. They are number 5 on our list. Number 4 is going to be the African rock python, or Python sibae, if that sounds correct. Practicing my Latin today. And they are found in Central Africa, Sub-Saharan Africa, kind of in those deserty, rocky areas near water, always near water, because these guys they're a little bigger. They can get like 20 plus feet and be like 100 plus pounds. They can get pretty big. They have a fun, varied diet as well. They start off with, little things like rodents, small mammals, and then as they grow, they move on to monkeys and warthogs and even small crocodilians, which that's wild because crocodiles are crocodiles. But I mean, I'm not talking like a big old Nile croc. I'm talking like smaller juveniles and maybe like, I don't know if they have dwarf caiman. I could be wrong. I'm not a huge crocodilian person, but small crocodilians they'll eat. They're pretty cool. Allegedly, they're like kind of very defensive snakes, and they can be very bitey, very spicy to keep as pets, but I still think they're really cool. And, African pythons, pretty sick. Like our boy here. That's your cousin, Daniel. That's your cousin. Your cousin is the 4th largest snake in the world. Isn't that cool? I don't think he cares. Now, the top 3 are snakes that you've almost definitely heard of before, right? And they're a lot more, 2 of them are more popular in captivity. So number 3 is the Burmese python. Classic Burm. Everyone, they got one brain cell and they're big sweet potatoes. And they're kind of destroying the Everglades, but that's not their fault. That's the fault of, a hurricane back in the day, like destroying a zoo and a bunch of them getting out, along with some people releasing their pets in the wild once they're too big. And of course, Florida has the perfect climate and temperature and everything for everything. Everything wants to live in Florida, you guys. All the animals are like, Florida? Yes, please. This is perfect. And the Burmese python, their scientific name is Python bivitatus. Very cool. They are native to Southeast Asia. They're not native to Florida. In Florida, they don't really have any natural predators that are going to gobble them up. And at least in Southeast Asia, there are more cannibalistic snakes, you know? Like the young will get picked off by like cobras and stuff. So there's not as many and it's not as big of an impact on the environment because that's where they're from. Animals hunt them. Florida, nah, they just got free reign to do whatever they want. And Burmese pythons, they can get like 18 plus feet long, like 200 pounds. They're big sweet potatoes. They're big boys and girls. And they start off on, you know, rabbits, rodents, raccoons. And in the wild, you know, they start to be able to eat deer. And, you know, again, small crocodilians. Which I think there's videos like online of like Burms getting a hold of an alligator or something, and it's just insane because the American alligator is kind of big, right? Terrifying. But the good news is the snakes on this list, they can't eat people because people have shoulders and they just can't, like, yeah, they might be able to kill you, but they can't eat you. So there you go. That's a comforting thought for you. They might be able to kill you, but it won't be able to eat you because you've got big shoulders, you big shouldered monkey. And number 2 on our list is the longest snake in the world. It's not necessarily the largest by weight, they're coming, but the longest snake in the world is the reticulated python, specifically the mainland reticulated python. Because there are such things as dwarf and super dwarf reticulated pythons that can be found on like the Solaire archipelago. And those ones are fantastic for pets because those ones only get like between I think like 7 and 10 feet or 7 and 12 feet, depending on the bloodline. If you're interested in super dwarf and dwarf reticulated pythons, head over to Reach Out Reptiles and talk to Garrett because they're super cool because it's all the best parts of a reticulated python in a small package that you can more easily house at home. So they're really cool. I would love one day, but not yet. One day. So their scientific name is Malaeopython reticulatus, which, that's pretty cool. I mean, kind of says it all. It's got that reticulated fishnet pattern, which is why they're called reticulated pythons, because it's a reticulating pattern. Malaeopython, they're a python from the Malayan area, Southeast Asia. And like I said, they're the longest snake in the world. They get longer than our number 1 animal on. Did this just short out? Okay, friends, we had to move outside because something happened with my light. I don't know. I was in the middle of Malaya pythons and just the light noped out. So conveniently, even though it's right after Christmas, it's like really nice outside. It's really nice outside. It was like 70 some degrees on Christmas. It's wild. So we're outside in shorts in December in Missouri. Weather is wild, y'all. So what were we doing? We were talking about reticulated pythons. I'm all turned around now. I'll break out my notes. I think we were talking about Malaeopython reticulatus and how they live in Southeast Asia, and they're really awesome. Oh, Daniel. Oh, Daniel. Oh, Daniel. Oh, he's excited. He likes outside. He likes his outside time. He likes to explore. And then put me in snake cuffs. But reticulated pythons, they can get well over 20 feet long. I think the world record is 32 feet and something like 250, 300 pounds or something like that. And again, they are long boys. Daniel is not a long boy, but he's very excited to be outside. He loves his outside time. Now, reticulated pythons, like any other snake, they start small with rodents, birds, small things, easy things. And as they grow, they'll move on to bigger stuff, like pigs and deer, primates, not people primates, other primates, because other primates have smaller shoulders and they're a lot easier to eat than we are because we have that upright posture that we have evolved, which makes us harder to eat. Thanks, evolution. Top tier. And then, of course, we come to our final snake, number 1. Technically, as of I think this year, maybe last year, technically it's actually probably 1 and 2. Our largest snake in the world, by weight, is the green anaconda. Now, recently, they have discovered that there's actually 2 distinct, genetically different populations of anaconda. There's the northern green anaconda and the southern green anaconda. For the longest time, it was just what we now call the southern green anaconda, which is Eunectes marinus. And for the longest time, that was our only green anaconda. That was the only one, big boy, only one. And then recently they've discovered a genetically different population in the northern half of South America. This is in South America, by the way. In the northern half of South America, in like around, like Suriname, like that area, Guyana, French Guinea, those. And those are called Eunectes acaima, but they are the northern green anaconda. Now, these northern green anacondas, they, on average, have been larger than the southern green anaconda. That new species, the northern green anaconda, is larger. You can't really tell just by looking at them because they only discovered this by looking at the genetics of these snakes. So technically, the world's largest snake is actually 2 species of snake, which we actually would technically put this list at 6, but we're not going to go there. We're going to keep it simple, friends. So the green anaconda, as you've seen from many classic films such as Anaconda, they're very large. They're very large. They can get like 20 plus feet long and up to 550 pounds, I think is the largest one that they found. Huge. These guys are massive. They're so cool. I love them. Like, I think Sekhmet, my sand boa, I think she looks like a tiny itty bitty green anaconda with a different pattern. Because they also kind of have their eyes on their head, and they have that pretty green color and their pretty pattern with their spots. They're very cool. But again, largest snake by weight, like a 550 pound snake. It's not the largest snake that's ever lived, and neither was Titanoboa. Titanoboa was huge and could get like 30 plus feet, but Titanoboa is also not the largest snake, I don't think. I'll have to look into it and get back to you on that. But biggest snake by volume, right? And as you can imagine, that means they eat some big stuff. When they're babies, when they're little, they'll eat birds and fish, rodents, and as they grow, they get into the largest rodent in the world, the capybara. I love capybaras. But they'll eat capybaras, wild pig, deer, caiman, which is a type of crocodilian, and even jaguars. Literal jaguars, which is insane. Jaguars like kill people on the regular, and then anacondas are just over here be like, nom, delicious. I'm always amazed that they can eat jaguars. That's so cool. Thank you guys so much for watching this video about the 5 largest snakes in the world. If you like that video, please like, subscribe, and, you know, get enough likes and subs, maybe I'll be able to fix my light, because, you know, that's fun. But anyway, I feel like this video has, behind the scenes, been full of chaos. Everything is chaos right now. But anyway, friends, thanks for watching, and until next time, never stop learning, because a mind is a terrible thing to waste. See ya!